A billionaire's wallet fell open. A single photo slipped out, and when a poor waitress picked it up, she froze like someone had ripped the ground from under her feet. Because the woman in that photo was her mother. Her mother who died 2 years ago. Hello friends, welcome to today's story. Before we begin, please like this video, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. Which country are you watching from today? India, Pakistan, UAE, Kenya, South Africa. We love hearing from you. The neon sign outside Moonlight Diner flickered weakly, buzzing like an exhausted firefly. Inside, Lena Parker wiped the counter for the 10th time. Her double shift was almost over. Just 14 more minutes until she could go home to her tiny apartment, eat leftover noodles, and fall into bed. The place was almost empty. Just an old man in the corner and a couple whispering in a booth. That was it. Then the doorbell chimed. Lena looked up, expecting a drunk or a trucker. Instead, a man entered wearing a charcoal gray suit worth more than her yearly rent. Silver hair, sharp jawline, a gold watch that gleamed under the dim lights. He looked powerful, cold, and completely out of place in this dying diner. He didn't look at her, just scanned the room with eyes that missed nothing. "Gee, good evening, sir," Lena stammered. "We close soon, but can I get you something?" "Coffee," he answered. "Black." She poured it with trembling hands. Something about him made the air feel heavier. Minutes passed. The other customers left. Silence settled like dust. And then it happened. He opened his leather wallet to pay. A single photograph slipped out and fluttered to the floor. Lena bent down to pick it up. But the moment she saw the picture, her entire body went numb. It was her mother, Claire Parker, younger, smiling, wearing a yellow dress Lena had never seen before. A photo she didn't know existed. Her voice cracked. "Sir, why do you have this?" "This is my mother." For the first time, the billionaire looked shaken. Something flickered in his eyes. Recognition, sorrow, guilt. Then he blinked it away. "You're mistaken," he said. "No," Lena whispered. "I'm not." He stood, dropped money on the table, and walked toward the exit. "Wait," she cried louder than she meant. "Tell me the truth. How did you know her?" He paused at the door, but didn't turn around. "Some truths," he said softly, "do more harm than good." Then he was gone. Lena didn't sleep that night. She searched the internet endlessly. It didn't take long. Alexander Douglas. Billionaire. Real estate empire. Faces of politicians, CEOs, shaking hands in tuxedos. And there, his photo, the same man. But her mother. No mention anywhere. It felt like her mother had been erased. At sunrise, Lena went straight to Douglas International's skyscraper. She walked into the glossy marble lobby, heart pounding. "I need to see Alexander Douglas," she said. The receptionist laughed. "Do you have an appointment?" "No." "Then he won't. Tell him Claire Parker's daughter is here," Lena said firmly. The receptionist froze, stared at Lena, then slowly dialed the phone. After a short pause, her eyes widened. He said to send you up." The elevator climbed to the 60th floor like it was ascending to another universe. His office was enormous, walls of glass showing a sprawling city below. He stood by the window, his back to her. When he turned, he didn't look powerful anymore, just tired, haunted. "Sit," he said. "I'd rather stand." He nodded as if expecting that. "You lied to me," Lena said. "Why do you have my mother's picture?" He closed his eyes. "Because I loved her." The room spun. He continued, voice low and trembling. "We met 23 years ago. She was kind, gentle, beautiful. My family hated her, said she had no status, no money, that she would ruin the Douglas name. They gave me a choice. Leave her or lose everything." A tear slid down his face. "And I chose wrong." Lena felt anger burn in her chest. She cried for months. "She loved you. And I never stopped loving her," he whispered. "I carried that photo because It was the only piece of her I had left. Lena ran home after that. She needed air. Answers. She opened the boxes under her bed. Her mother's belongings that she'd never touched since the funeral. Inside, she found something she had never seen. A small wooden box. Inside the box was a silver locket wrapped in velvet. She opened it with trembling fingers. Inside the locket was a tiny photo. Her mother and Alexander Douglas. Young. In love. Smiling. The smile her mother never wore again. Behind the locket was a folded note. Her mother's handwriting. Lena read it. My dearest Lena, if you are reading this, then I am no longer with you. I loved a man named Alexander Douglas, and he loved me too. But his family forced him to leave me. After he left, I found out I was pregnant with you. I was afraid to tell him, afraid he would take you away. So I kept you secret. He never knew. Lena, he is your father. Lena's breath stopped. Her legs gave out. Her hands shook violently. Alexander Douglas, billionaire, was her father, and he had no idea. The next morning she returned to the tower. The receptionist stared. Are you here to see him again? Tell him, Lena said. His daughter is here. Minutes later the elevator doors opened. Alexander stepped out. His eyes landed on the locket around her neck. He staggered. That's the locket I gave her. Lena handed him the note. He unfolded it. He read the first lines calmly. Then his hands shook. Then his lips trembled. Then the note fell from his fingers. And Alexander Douglas, cold, powerful billionaire, fell to his knees in the middle of the lobby. I have a daughter, he whispered. I had a daughter for 23 years. And I didn't know? He was broken. Fully, completely shattered. Lena, he whispered, voice breaking. May I hug you? Lena hesitated, then nodded. He held her like a man holding life for the first time. People stared. People whispered. But he didn't care. His tears fell into her hair. I'm sorry, he kept repeating. I'm so sorry. I missed everything. Your childhood. Your birthdays. Your laughter. Your first steps. I missed you. They spent hours together in his office, sharing memories. Regrets. Oh, I know I can't be a father overnight, he said. But please let me try. Lena nodded. We'll go slow. For the first time in years, she felt something warm inside her chest. 3 months later, Lena stood at her mother's grave, placing fresh flowers. Hi, Mama. Told him. Everything. You were right. He didn't know. He never knew about me. She smiled sadly. He's trying. He cares, Mama. He really does. A breeze brushed her cheek like a gentle caress. I'm okay now, she whispered. I'm not alone anymore. As she walked away, her phone buzzed. A message from Alexander. Dinner tonight. I found old photographs of your mother. If you're ready to see them. Lena touched the locket on her chest and smiled softly. Yes, she replied. I'm ready. Because healing doesn't erase the past. It builds a new future on top of it. And Lena was finally ready for tomorrow. Lena couldn't stop pacing inside her tiny apartment. The silver locket her mother left her felt heavier tonight, as if the truth inside it was still settling, still rearranging every piece of her life. Alexander Douglas, her father, had asked to meet again. He wanted to show her old photographs of her mother. Photos taken before heartbreak, before secrets, before life pulled them apart. Her heart raced with fear and curiosity. Seeing those pictures meant opening wounds she didn't even know she had. But she also felt something she hadn't felt in years, hope. She changed into a simple dress, tied her hair back, and whispered to her mother's memory. Mama, stay with me tonight, please. Then she stepped out into the cool evening air, letting it calm her shaking breath as she headed to the little Italian cafe near her apartment. When she walked in, Alexander was already there, sitting quietly at a corner table. He wasn't wearing an expensive suit tonight. No fancy watch. no mask of power. He looked like an ordinary man waiting for something precious and fragile. He stood as she approached. "Lena," he whispered. "I'm happy you came." "I said I would," she replied softly. They sat, silence hanging between them like a fragile thread. Finally, Alexander reached beside him and placed a brown envelope on the table. "I brought something for you," he said. "Photographs of your mother. From before I lost her." Lena stared at the envelope. Her hand shook as she picked it up. She pulled out the first photo, and her breath trembled. Her mother looked radiant, alive, laughing. Claire Parker stood in a sunny garden holding a rose against her cheek. A younger Alexander stood behind her, arms wrapped around her waist, both glowing with pure happiness. Lena felt tears blur her vision. "She looks so happy." "She was," Alexander whispered. "She deserved the world." Her voice cracked. "If she deserved the world, why did you leave her?" The pain on Alexander's face deepened. "Because I was a coward," he said quietly. "Because my family told me I had to choose between their world and the woman I loved. I chose wrong." Lena bit her lip, her heart aching. She cried for months. "I was young, but I remember her pain." Alexander's eyes filled. "And I felt that pain every day. I never forgot her. Not for a moment. I kept that photo in my wallet for 23 years. Because it was the only thing I had left of her." Lena looked down at the photographs, her tears falling onto the glossy paper. "Why did she never tell me about you?" He leaned forward. "She wanted to protect you. And maybe protect her own heart. She didn't want you growing up believing you weren't wanted. She didn't want you to feel rejected by a man who never even knew you existed." Lena wiped her eyes, flipping through more photos. Her mother dancing. Her mother hugging Alexander. Her mother wearing his jacket. Her mother looking at him with unimaginable love. Hurt. It healed. It burned. Soothed. All at once. The next question escaped Lena before she could stop it. "Do you hate me for coming into your life like this?" Alexander's voice broke. "Hate you, Lena. You are the greatest blessing I never knew I had. You are the piece of her that lived on. You are the second chance I never deserved but prayed for without even realizing it." Lena's chest tightened. "I don't know if I forgive you. Part of me is still angry. You hurt her. And because of that my whole life changed." "I know." His voice was barely a whisper. "And I accept whatever you feel. I only ask for a chance. Even the smallest chance. To know you. To be there in the ways I never was allowed to be." Lena looked at him, really looked at him. At the brokenness behind his eyes. At the years he spent missing someone he could never have again. At the grief etched into every line on his face. "We can try," she whispered. "But slowly." He nodded, tears falling freely. "Thank you, Lena. Thank you." Over the next weeks, a fragile bond began to form. Alexander would call her every morning just to ask how she was. They had lunch once a week, nothing fancy. He told her stories about her mother that Lena had never heard. How she used to hum while arranging flowers at the shop, how she loved sunrises, how she always tugged her hair behind her ear when she was nervous. He even gave her something she didn't expect. Her mother's diary. The words inside sliced deep. "Alex bought me lilies today. He said my smile makes his heart quieter." Later pages were stained with tears. "He left today. The world feels colder. I don't know how to breathe without him." Lena cried into the pages, her hands shaking. "She never stopped loving you," she whispered. "And I never stopped loving her," Alexander said softly. One evening, he invited her to his mansion. It was large, intimidating, breathtaking. But what caught her attention wasn't the architecture, or the statues, or the golden staircase. It was the enormous framed picture on the wall. Her mother, smiling, glowing, alive. Lena gasped. You put her photo here." He nodded. "I hid it for decades. But now Now she deserves to be seen. She deserves to be honored. She is part of this home because she is part of you. Lena nearly broke down at those words. 3 months after learning the truth, Lena visited her mother's grave again. She placed fresh lilies, the same flowers Alexander used to buy her. "Hi, Mama," she whispered. "I told him everything. And he didn't know, Mama. He really didn't know." The wind blew gently like her mother was listening. "We're trying," Lena continued. "We're taking small steps. He talks about you all the time. He asks about your favorite songs, your favorite foods, how you laughed. Mama, he remembers everything about you." Tears slid down her cheeks. "I miss you every single day. But I'm okay now. I'm healing. I'm not alone anymore." Her phone buzzed in her pocket. A message from Alexander. "Dinner tonight. I found old videos of your mother. If you're ready to watch them." Lena closed her eyes, feeling something warm and profound swell in her chest. She typed back, "Yes, I'm ready." She touched the silver locket around her neck, feeling its warmth, like her mother's hand resting gently on her heart. As she walked away from the grave, the sunset painted the sky with soft shades of gold and pink. The breeze brushed her cheek like a whisper, and for the first time in years, Lena felt whole. She felt loved. She felt like her life was finally beginning to heal exactly where it had been broken. She whispered softly into the wind, "Thank you, Mama, for everything." And somewhere deep in her heart, she felt an answer.